Hi, how's it going? Hope y'all doing good. Welcome back to the channel, man. We're going to be doing a timeless message today, and it seems you all voted yes. Last time I checked, it was all yes votes for the astrology in the beginning of the video. So I'm going to try something different. I'm recording this without having tried it yet, so if I do this where I say I'm going to have the chart here and the aspects here so you can take a look, and hopefully I can edit that in on the app that I'm using. If not, that's going to look really stupid, but it doesn't matter. Aside from the point, I'm going to essentially show you what's going on, and I'm going to talk about what's going on. I looked at it a little bit last night, and the thing that was sticking out to me was we have, well, a lot of planets in Aries. So in particular, I'm looking at, let's see, Chiron, Sun, Jupiter, which are all in Aries, and then we have the moon, which is in Sagittarius. And if you saw the chart, if it showed up if I was able to put it there, you would see that we have conjunctions between Chiron and the Sun, Chiron and Jupiter, and Chiron's also trining the moon. And then we also have Sun trining the moon and Sun conjunct Jupiter, as well as the moon trining Jupiter. And the whole thing about trines and conjunctions is they are essentially so trines are like planets working together, and all those elements coming together to work towards whatever that is, right? And then the conjunctions are essentially, it's like a merging of the two energies in a sense. It's like an opposition except the opposite, if that makes sense. And so the whole thing that was coming up for me, there's this really powerful time for us to, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? I feel like we have all been through so much, and the fact that like Jupiter is the planet of like good fortune, the moon, the emotions, the sun having to do with how we're perceived and how we show up in the world, Chiron having to do with the wounded healer is very Nine of Wands energy, right? And given that there's all this fiery energy working together, it's really giving us the energy we need to essentially use our healing to better our lives. And so it's using everything that we've gone through and channeling that and transmuting that into a place of taking forward action and really starting to, I feel like that's why we've been seeing all this manifestation energy coming in for these blessings and these new relationships and new job opportunities. That is all definitely Jupiter energy that we're kind of seeing here. And we're gonna kind of just leave it on that. You know, I don't really want to get too much into it. The other thing sticking out to me is like Venus squaring Saturn. It has a lot to do with this, like, I feel like there's like pressure in the structure of our relationships and the way we love. And I feel like that's also why this is a good time for you to focus that energy on the blessings that you do have in your life right now. So anyways, we're going to get on and hop into the reading. If you want to book a personal, everything's in the description. I'll never contact you in any way, shape, or form. The only way to book a reading with me is to send me an email or DM me on Instagram. I offer 2 tiers of readings. I have picture-based readings and I have video-based readings. The picture-based readings are cheaper, and then the video-based readings are obviously more expensive, and then I just have 3 tiers for each, offering 3 different readings. Well, it's the same reading, but picture-based and then video-based. I have 3 different readings, right? So if you want to book that, just hit me up. If you want to subscribe to Patreon, where we do the extended, it's in the description. If you want to listen to my music, also in the description. I still need to put out the extended for yesterday. I didn't have a chance to edit the video. I was just exhausted yesterday. Give thanks to my guides, angels, and ancestors for any messages that want to come through for us today. We're going to start out with the Sorcerer's Tarot. And also thank you guys for the donations, by the way. The donations, the likes, subscribes, and the comments. I really do appreciate you guys. I really just want to, I mean, the reason I've been doing this more is because I feel like you guys, you give so much to me, right? I feel like even when I was doing small amount of videos, you guys were giving so much to me and really making me feel a part of something and feeling supported and seen and loved during a very, especially when I first started, during a very dark period of my life. And now that things are really starting to balance out, I want to be able to give back to you guys as much as I can. And so this is why I'm doing these videos as much as I am. So I just want to let you know I appreciate you guys. And it's not like you don't have to always show up for me, and you still do after all this time. And so thank you guys so much. Anyways, enough of me being sappy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups. Basically the card that came out in the reading today on the short video. One of the cards. And we also have the Seven of Swords, we have the Three of Wands, and we have the Knight of Wands. This is the option energy we've been tapping into, having to do with multiple options. I don't feel the Seven of Swords to be a deceptive energy. We can look at this a few ways. So first way I'm seeing this could be some kind of relationship coming in, and there's a need to just, there's a need, I feel like there's something you're just kind of turning down. That's also what was coming out in the short video. There are a lot of options, and I feel like this lines up perfectly with Venus squaring Saturn today, because that's essentially needing to find structure in our relationships. Venus being in Taurus, Saturn being in Pisces, right? Those are two very different energies, but also very similar. Like Taurus energy has a lot to do with, especially Venus and Taurus. I'm a Taurus Venus, and that has a lot to do with just like feeling comfortable, like creature comforts, loyalty, dedication, but also stubbornness in the shadow aspect. In Pisces, to me, Piscean energy is very, I mean, it's very deep and intuitive and creative, but in the shadow aspect, it's also very self-sacrificing. And given we're having a square with Venus and Saturn right now, it's a need to take a look at the ways in which you self-sacrifice in your relationships. And it's kind of making sure that you're not deceiving yourself in your relationships, right? What ways do you feel like you're lying to yourself when it comes to the people in your life? It's needing to get very clear on what something is and something isn't. And I feel like there's this energy of needing to really just look at things differently. I feel like that's also something that's going on. It's just like completely changing your perspective. Like with all these trines and conjunctions we have with Chiron right now, is really taking a deeper look at the ways in which your wounding influences how you move in a relationship and how you view a relationship. I'd like to clarify this though. Can we please clarify the Seven of Swords? Yeah, Seven of Cups came out bottom of the deck. Choices, options, the Fool, which way do you want to go? Just really getting clear about that and making sure you're making decisions from a place of healing and an abundant mindset and not from a lack mentality. But I don't feel like that's the issue here. I feel like you're already pretty clear about that. King of Swords bottom of the deck. These all came out during the short video, by the way. I feel like you're pretty clear on that. It's not something where I feel like you're sitting here making decisions just to make decisions. I just feel like there's patience. I feel like there's this sense of needing to, like, before taking action, really take a look at why you're taking action or why you want to move in a particular direction. Bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This also came out in the short video, having to do with independence, financial abundance, essentially like working through codependency. That's something that's been coming up a little bit. We have the Ace of Swords, we have the Knight of Cups reverse, we have the Page of Wands, Five of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, yeah, and back to the Ace of Swords. And this is all clarifying the Seven of Swords. I feel like they're just, if this is a connection that you're dealing with, this to me feels like two people that, it's almost like seeing that somebody may not be fully in alignment with what you're looking either to experience or the direction you're looking to take in your life. I feel like that's, once you get past the stage of chemistry and the kind of honeymoon phase of a relationship, it then starts to move into the place of, well, how are we going to make this work in our everyday lives? We talk about this for the past few readings. How can this fit into each other's lives? And I feel like this is an overarching theme. And I feel like this is something just within this week alone seems to be what we are working through. And this doesn't always have to be with another person. I feel like this is getting clear with what you want. That was also the message in the short video, getting really clear with yourself. And it's like manifesting from that place. And that's where you're going to start to see a lot of changes in your reality, is when you kind of really get clear with that kind of stuff. You know, really interesting too, I'm looking at the chart. I'm seeing we have a trine between Lilith and the moon and Chiron. And so it's like all these planets, and that has like Lilith has to do with like the shadow aspects, like the dark feminine, I guess you can call it. Some people call it that. And it's almost kind of like it's to me, I would akin it to the dark side of the moon. That's what I see it as, the moon, and then you have the shadow side of the moon, and that's what Lilith represents to me. And interesting that it's a trine, because it's like now you're getting the opportunity to really integrate your shadow. And it's like it's not something where I feel like you're not letting your ego or your shadow run the show, but you're allowing your shadow to have a say, and you're allowing your higher self to also have a say, and it's integrating those two before really fully moving forward with anything. I feel like it's that same playful energy. It's also where I feel like if this is somebody you're dealing with, this is somebody who's coming towards you like this. Page of Wands, Knight of Cups reversed. They may be a little bit immature. It may just be inexperience. This person, it's not that I don't feel like they're a terrible person here, but I feel like if this is somebody that you're dealing with, this is somebody who they just may not have the experience. They may have been through a lot, and so because of what they've been through, they're now kind of sitting in this Page of Wands energy where it's not very solid. It's a very flighty kind of energy, and I feel like you're kind of seeing the truth about a situation now, where it's like something that you may have wanted to move forward with at one point is now not looking so promising, because you're now starting to see the flighty energy here. You're starting to see the emotional manipulation, the emotional immaturity, and to me it feels like you're just choosing to kind of stay single for now, and maybe just keep your options open, having fun and getting to know people. Kind of the energy I'm seeing here too. We have the Nine of Swords bottom of the deck, and then we have the Hermit. And so, yeah, and then we got the Emperor here too. I feel like this is just you working through your fears. This is you getting clear with what your fears are, and really getting clear with what's holding you back from moving forward in all areas of your life. If this could also be your energy here too, where it's like you may be a little bit flighty because you're afraid of going through the same thing that you have gone through in the past. And I feel like you're getting clear with how you acting from that place has caused a lot of disappointments in the past. It's not necessarily the full-on reason that things went the way they have, but it's getting real with yourself and having these really honest internal conversations about how you show up in love, and how that is also reflected back to you through the people that you have interacted with in love and relationships. Let's go ahead and get some advice on these here. We're going to use the Mystical Cat Tarot. Alright, so Mystical Cat Tarot, anything that we need about this, because it's like I'm seeing either somebody you're dealing with is in this energy, or you're in this energy, or you're both mirroring each other and you're in this energy. Really is going to depend. I'd like to just get some general advice on this situation, please. What does collective need to know about the situation that they are currently dealing with? Okay, bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Swords, so we have counterparts, King and Queen of Swords, two people that have been through a lot. Okay, we have quite a stack. We're going to take this into two parts. So we have Three of Swords reverse, which I do like. We have the Fire Town, which I believe is the Knight of Wands. Two of Swords reverse, Sea Kitten reverse, which is the Page of Cups reverse. It's interesting. It's not the Knight of Cups now, but it's the Page of Cups reverse that we just got. And we have the Earth Tom, which is Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands reverse, and then Justice, or Consequences, which is also Justice in this deck. Super interesting, because I notice when we pull from another deck, we oftentimes will get the flip of the energy. So it's almost like Spirit wants us to look at both sides of the situation. And I feel like this is Spirit asking you to be a little more, just to be more gentle with yourself, be gentler with yourself. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. It's something where I feel like it's like you've just been through so much, you know, but I feel like you're overcoming that. Like with the Three of Swords reverse, like you're really getting the opportunity to heal some major heartbreaks that have kept you stuck for a long time, and you're really releasing a lot of these burdens, man. And we don't have any tens and there's no cycles, but I feel like this is part of the new cycle that you're on, right? We've been tapping into a long time, all these cycles closing, all this different stuff closing, and now I feel like you're really entering that new space, but that new space is still going to require you to do the shadow work. It's going to require you to make difficult decisions, and the decisions you make on this new timeline have more weight than they did on the old timeline. And it's not that you can never go back to the old timeline, and I feel like that's why the decisions have so much weight, because it's like if you make a decision from the place of being in your Chiron, wounded Chiron energy, I would recommend you take a look at where your Chiron is placed on your chart, right? I currently have Leo Chiron, right? And so whenever you come across somebody that has different Leo placements, you're going to essentially see how that affects your healing process. They're going to help you heal certain wounding, right? And that's getting into synastry, and that's if you have somebody's chart. That's a whole different story. I mean, this isn't terrible energy. I mean, I feel like this is you essentially like passing the test, if you want to call it that. I don't feel like this is an issue for you. I mean, I feel like there's again, I need to be patient. I feel like it's like this direction you're moving in, it's going to be a little slow, but I feel like that's because it needs to be slow. If you're just moving in this Knight of Wands energy and trying to move really quickly, you might overlook something very important. So it's like especially because we have Mercury retrograde coming up, is needing to read the fine print, needing to make sure you're making well-informed decisions, reevaluating your communication style, making sure you're considering all options before making any important decisions. Here's the next deck, and then we're going to close it after this. We'll take it to Patreon. So we have the Knight of Wands reverse. We have, this is the Sky Tom reverse, which is the Knight of Swords. We have the Five of Cups again. We have the Four of Swords. Then we have the Ten of Cups here, so this is another 10. We have the Seven of Pentacles reverse. We have the Devil reverse and the High Priestess reverse. This to me is telling me that you may be in a situation that isn't what you think it is, but not in a bad way. This is in the way where it's like you're getting cold feet in a situation that is essentially great. I don't feel like there's any genuine problems with this person you're dealing with here. There's no actual issues. I don't really feel like there's anything really. I feel like you may think there are issues where there are none, but the cards are telling me High Priestess reverse, the Devil reverse, Five of Cups. I don't feel like there are actually any issues here. I feel like a lot of the issues you may be seeing are in your head. Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, right? And then the Nine of Swords reverse. I feel like a lot of what you may be thinking about a situation is in your head. I feel like that's why we're getting all of this Chiron trining and conjunction energy, because it's really getting to look at how your wounding is impacting your life and how your wounding is influencing your decisions in relationships in particular. But I feel like it's also influencing your decisions about how you use your emotions to show up in the world. This is actually coming to terms with how people view you, understanding that you can't always control how people see you. You can try to change yourself to fit other people's box, but you don't have to. I don't feel like that's an obligation. And I feel like the best way for you to work through this right now, as a final advice, again, is to go within, take some time to reflect on everything you've been through, and make sure you're not making decisions from that space of being wounded, right? We're going to leave it there. I'm going to take it over to Patreon. If you want to book a personal reading, everything's in the description. I will never contact you for a reading in any way, shape, or form. The only way to book a reading is to DM me on Instagram or send me an email. Again, I offer picture-based readings and video-based readings. Please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and I really do appreciate you. If you want to subscribe to Patreon to see the extended, it will be in the description. If you want to listen to my music, also in the description. But that said, I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you even on Patreon or the next reading. Goodbye.